So normally I'd start off my videos with, a little joke, something like that. But hey, we've been waiting over 2 years for the New Mutants, so let's just get into this. The New Mutants is directed by Josh Boone and stars Blue Hunt, Macy Williams, Alice Braga, and a handful of others. So The New Mutants is the story about a facility that houses and tries to help young mutants. But as things start to go bump in the night, the students start to wonder if this facility is actually really here to help them or not. So how is The New Mutants? Well, let's start off by first talking about the good. So the first positive I have with this movie is that this movie tries something just a little different here. I mean, look, we've had X-Men movies for the past 20 years. First X-Men movie came out in the year 2000. So, and we've had many other superhero movies between now and then, and this movie tries to go towards the horror route. And this is not a horror movie. Do not think that it is. Going into it, know that this movie does have horror elements into it, but it's an X-Men movie, or an X-Men universe-like movie with some horror elements, very lightly sprinkled in the mist. And you know what? That's going to be off-putting for a lot of people. Might be good news for some. For me, I liked it. I thought that it works pretty well in that respect. But I most applaud it for doing something different, because normally your superhero movies or your X-Men movies, they're action-adventure movies. This one, with kind of trying something a little different, with trying to be a bit of a horror movie, I think is interesting and a little bit kind of a fresh take on things. I mean, this is not Brightburn. Don't think this is Brightburn. But I think that how it does incorporate the horror into this movie works pretty well, and I liked it. Next positive I got with this movie has got to be Danny and Rain, the two main characters. They have great chemistry. These two actresses work very well off each other. They have great chemistry. You really buy that they form this good friendship throughout the story, and I really like how they find each other. They're both in a scenario they don't want to be in. They're both in this facility they don't want to be at, but they find each other. They become friends, and their friendship evolves over the course of the movie. And I felt that it comes across very genuine. Comes across great, and I really dug that about this movie. I think that their friendship is really the best part of this movie. I feel it's the strongest part of this movie. Again, just how it grows, the chemistry of these two actresses, it all comes across very well, and I dug that. With all that said, I got quite a few problems with this movie, so let's get into the bad. My first thing I want to talk about with this movie, and it pains me to say this after saying how much I enjoyed the characters of Danny and Rain, but the rest of the characters in this movie just not handled well at all. They're not all that fleshed out. For instance, the character played by Anya Taylor-Joy, her character, for the most part, is fleshed out fairly well, has a decent character arc, but I just feel they didn't quite stick the landing with her character. There's just kind of a few times where you're just saying, what is with you? I don't really get what makes you tick. And the movie really never fully sticks the landing on establishing her character, nearly as well as Danny and Rain, at least. For me, she kind of fell a little bit flat, but if you want to talk about characters falling flat, let's talk about the two dudes in this movie. There's Kansas and the other guy, the handsome guy, whatever you want to call him. Let's call him Handsome Rob, who knows. But those two characters are terribly fleshed out. I mean, you really learn nothing about them. You know two things. For Kansas, you know that he used to coal mine, and you know that handsome guy is handsome. That's what you know. That's what you got to work with. They just fell flat. You just kind of start to sit there and wonder, why are they here? What are these two characters doing here? Because clearly the script is doing diddly squat with them. So what's the point of even having them in this movie? And also a character that definitely had a place in this movie but wasn't fleshed out all that well was Dr. Reyes, played by Alice Braga. And I like Alice Braga, and I have no problem with her performance in this movie. I think she's a talented actress, and I think she does a fine job in this movie. But her character is not fleshed out at all. I mean, it's actually pretty pathetic, because I know two things about her character. After watching this entire movie, I know two things about her character. Okay, she's a doctor that runs this facility, and her mother was a veterinarian. That's it. That's all I know about her character. I don't know her motivation. I don't know why she's here. I don't know why she's such a jerk sometimes. I don't know what her end game is. I don't get her character at all, because they never flesh it out in this movie. And her character is just terribly handled in this movie. And another problem I have with her character, not so much with her character, but more the dynamic of her character running this facility, is that's it. She's the only person working at this facility. You have a facility that houses almost half a dozen young mutants who do not have a firm grasp of control on their power. And you have one person staffing this facility. I don't even see a janitor cleaning out trash cans in this movie. She's the only staff member here. And come on, there's more staff members at the Taco Bell midnight shift, for crying out loud. I mean, what? It makes no sense. To me, that was just like a big red flag. I'm like, there's more people working here, right? Like, there's even, in the beginning, they show that everyone's in surveillance, and they show this big security room with all the monitors up there. And they're just showing the monitors. I'm like, oh, they're going to turn the camera, and it's going to be one big reveal. And then they turn the camera, and it's Alice Braga, and you're like, what? Wait, so you're doing this, and you're doing that, and you're doing this, and that, and this, and that. It doesn't make sense to me. That part is just I feel a flaw in the movie. I feel a bit of a plot hole in the movie. It just doesn't make sense. Why would you have a facility like this that has kids that are potentially dangerous to themselves and others? You got one person working there. So that part didn't really work out for me. Another part that doesn't really work out is a lot. Like I said, they didn't know what to do with those two boys in the facility, and they also struggle on how to work with characters during action sequences, because you got 5 mutants right here, okay? 5. And never during an action sequence are all 5 thrown down, okay? They would normally have like 2 were thrown down, and then the other 3, they're somewhere, they're not there. And the reason is, and it comes back to this movie being a little sloppy, is if you would have all 5 mutants fighting the particular threat, the fight would be over in 4 seconds. I mean, it just... So they purposely have characters take a backseat just because logically the fight would be over before it even started. It's lazy, it's dumb, it happened multiple times in this movie. It just made me angry. There was even one point where it was just like, there's like 2 people, and they're not fighting. They're just sitting there. And they like look at each other and like, what are you doing? Like, what are you doing? It's like, I'm hiding. Why? It's like, go, come on. It's not even given like this good reason, like, oh, I'm scared, but my character is gonna grow. Don't you worry. I mean, no, it's lazy. We know that all 5 of them could take out the threat right now, so we'll just find some BS reason to not have all 5 of them there at once. I didn't appreciate that. I thought that was very poorly done. And again, not knowing what to do with characters in this movie. So overall, New Mutants, it's all right. It has its highs, it has its lows. Now, it's not X-Men Origins Wolverine bad, so don't worry about that. But is it worth going to the theaters for? If you're an X-Men fan, I'd say go for it. I found enjoyment in this movie. I had some fun with it. It's probably a movie I won't see again. I probably won't add it to my X-Men collection either, unless I'd find it on sale at Walmart or something like that. But I think it's worth at least a rental at some point. I think if you're an X-Men fan, I think it is worth going to the movies. I'm gonna give the New Mutants a C+. Thank you so much for watching. Please leave a like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell to keep yourself updated on future content. Guys, Tenet is coming out next week, and I am so excited. And you can bet yourself that I'm going to have a review up for that. Oh, I can't wait. I've been wanting that movie to come out, and Oh, it's here, and it's exciting. I'm looking forward to it, guys. So stay tuned for that. Coming soon.